Hello everyone, welcome to Xylostar new weekly market update with our expert Mr. Amidian and Mr. Saman and Ms. Norhan.
Too many formalities among colleagues at Xylostar. I mean, you guys are the ones watching, not us. Anyways, so financial markets are getting crazier with these tariff wars increasing as tension goes up. As all of you guys have known, China has struck back with 125% tariffs on US, which was a fish slap to the face. Making gold breaking again and again its all-time highest. And right now, we expect markets to be even more spicy.
Inflation decreased, yet inflation expectation to increased.
Hi again. So we'll start analyzing the market. We'll start with the Euro USD and the gold prices, and let's check what's happening in this upcoming week. And as we can see here in 2-hour time frames, that the market is in the continuation uptrend, and he will continue his uptrend till he's not breaking this trend line. So as we know as well, we have, for example, from here support to resistance, and as well from here we have resistance, breakout resistance, and we are waiting a retracement to be a support again. This is our outlook for the Euro USD, and what we are expecting the market that he can came again to our trend line from here, and he can came again to test this support level to resistance level, and we are waiting till he did not break out our trend line, our major trend line. We are in an uptrend with the small retracement to the downside. This is regarding the Euro USD, and let's check the gold prices again. So the gold prices, we are in 2 hours time frame. As we can see here, we have major trend line with the pattern in the high time frame, and from here, if we can see, we have very nice, or let's say a very big movement to the upside, like from the 3000 till the 3200, and which is very big, and the market is breaking this last high. And also as well from here, the market is breaking, making a retracement, breaking, making a retracement. Again, he's trying to break the last high, and he's trying to take the liquidity from the last high. Now what we are expecting, since he's not trying to break this line from here, we are in the retracement mode. But if he breaks this from here, it means the market he will fly again to the upside with a very good movement. And as we can see, the gold price should retrace it to this liquidity zone of 3120, because it's liquidity and the market needs to take it. This is our outlook for the gold.
All right, everyone, welcome back. My name is Sami Ruslan. I'm a senior technical analyst at Xylostar, and here we go again with another market update for this week. To kick it off, I'll start with NASDAQ. Now, yes, we have seen a spike in NASDAQ to the upside and a break of inner structure that happened after the 90 days pause of the tariffs. However, this doesn't remove the tariffs completely. And technically, we are seeing it moving in an expanding channel to the downside. It's a downtrend in an expanding channel, right? So we can see actually a continuation where it retests the upper trend line, right, of this downtrend before a withdraw back to the level of 18,000s. Now, for the sake of the spike and the signals we are taking actually from here, there is an ascending triangle on a lower time frame and the confirmation to entry for a long position. We might see actually a breakout where market try to liquidate things, go to the levels of 20,000 if there's enough momentum, and then retrace back to the downside, right? This is actually more of a technical behavior. So you wouldn't really want to look to sell from here unless we get a very good confirmation for a sell entry. So keep an eye on it if you're looking to enter. Yeah. So that's about NASDAQ. Now about Nifty50, we can see that Nifty50 has tested the support of 22,000 once again. right? And then retraced from it. Now also we can see it moving in a down trend in a descending channel. So we can further expect it to consolidate between the support of 22,000s and also the resistance of 23,000s for a little bit longer time, because this is what happened in the past. And also market has, or Nifty50 has been trying to break below the levels of 22,000s since pretty much a very good period of time, and it is failing to do that. So we might see a further consolidation before another solid attempt, right? Now going to Bitcoin. Now, yes, for a volatile asset, Bitcoin is actually finding a fair price for it at the range of 84,000, 83,000 levels, right? During all of these economic condition around the world, tariffs and all of that. So technically we are seeing it moving in a descending triangle, right? In one point of view, and another point of view, we are having a narrowing channel actually, and also it is to the downside. And both of them are not giving bullish signals. Both of them are looking bearish. However, will it break below 70s? That's something actually we'll see according to how the market's going to react to tariffs after all, because China also took a very strong position against US after US initiated tariffs against them. You guys are all aware of it. They added 125% tariffs on it. So this actually is huge, and for the effect it is making on Bitcoin, we can still see that even though Bitcoin retraced to 75,000, which was a strong support, we can see it went up to 84. So yeah, technically we are seeing this to consolidate and try to retest the support at 75,000 again. However, will it crash below it? Now, this is something that is uncertain, because the way it is behaving to all of this market uncertainty is still it's holding value, as I've mentioned in previous videos. Right. So if you guys are following us, you guys have an idea about how it's the logical sequence of update to this assets. If you are not, then make sure you are following so you can understand what I'm saying and relate things to the past, because you'll have the bigger picture and take the information the way you should be taking it to make the best out of it. All right. Yeah. So this is about Bitcoin. We can expect a further consolidation within this descending triangle, with this as a demand zone or a support for this triangle, or we can also consider it as a down trend and taking a trend line from this, connecting both of these, right? And we could see a potential breakdown to the levels of 66,000, where also it meets 66, 67, also it meets support here, right? So this is not shown, right? I cannot modify this right now, but as I'm telling you guys, yes, these are the lows. Just connect it on your chart, right? And you see gold breaking below. It could reach 66, 67, 60, 68 level as a support, right? Technical wise. So this is about Bitcoin for this week.
Greeting everyone, hope you're doing well. I'm Masoud Amidian here. I'm Senior Fundamental Analyst at Xylos, the head office in Dubai. And we are going to review the most crucial aspect of the financial market, which is fundamental. Last week, markets were completely volatile. We saw, especially in the US indices, something like 5% daily drawdown. And at the end, we saw a huge movement, or let's say a recovery movement to the upward by 11% daily, which was amazing. So I want to start it with the US indices, especially better say US economic indicators. With the CPI, the consumer price index for all urban consumers decreased by 0.1% in March after rising 0.2% in February. Over the last 12 months, the all items index increased 2.4%, and the index for the energy fell by 2.4% in March. The food index, in contrast, rose by 0.4%, in March. The index for all items less food and energy, which means core CPI, rose by 0.1% in March. And eventually the shelter index, one of the most important part of the consumer price index, increased by 0.2% over the months. Another important economic indicator was the PPI, but to say producer price index. This index for final demand decreased by 0.4% in March and advanced 2.7% over the 12 months ended in March. Totally, it was a huge downgrade in inflation for March, which we got from the CPI and the PPI. On Friday, we got the Michigan Consumer Survey. Year-ahead inflation expectations surged from 5% last month to 6.7% this month, the highest reading since 1981, and marking 4 consecutive months of unusually large increases of 0.5 percentage point or more. Long-run inflation expectations climbed from 4.1% in March to 4.4% in April. From the geopolitical side, China started to retaliate on the US tariffs by increasing the tariffs on US from 84% to 125%. Trump called it as a big mistake on the social truth, and he mentioned in close future there won't be any meeting with the China president face to face. Finally, after a long period of time, we had the meeting between US, Russia, and Iran, which may lead to accelerate the tensions at the Middle East. Last week, some FOMC participants had a speech like Williams from the New York Federal Reserve, and he cleared the doubts about the stagflation fears in the US, but market participants are still selling the US dollar because of the Trump tariffs. And for the first time since the April 2020, the DXY index dropped to 99%. Let's have a look for the upcoming week. Regarding the upcoming week, it's going to be a little bit crowded because we are going to receive the meetings by the different central banks in the different regions like Canadian dollar and the European Union. We are going to receive the latest monetary policy decisions about the interest rate and the other policies. And we are going to have also the CPI number for the Canada on 15th of April, which means Tuesday. And about the Great British Pound, we are going to have the same annual basis on 16th Wednesday at 10 a.m. to UAE time. As I mentioned, our office is also in Dubai. And later we are going to receive the retail sales number for the US, which is one of the best indicators to show the strength of the consumers, especially when nowadays everybody is talking about the US recessions and so on. So be careful with these economic indicators. And eventually we are going to receive the Fed Chair Powell speak on 16th of April, which means again Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. And let's see what he will mention about the interest rate and about the inflation and these fears, especially the inflation expectations, as I mentioned earlier, which skyrocketed. So stay tuned with the financial markets and Xylostar. See you next week.
Hope guys you liked our information. Don't forget to subscribe,
Like, share, and comment.